welcome back. We'll be talking about is in this video we'll be talking about is nephrons. Okay, nephrons. Now, what do you think? Just simply, if you can recall something called as BFUC. Okay, basic functional unit of kidney. Okay, BFUC, and these are 2 million in each kidneys nephrons, and this gives you the final concentration of urine. Okay, final concentration of urine takes place in collecting duct, okay, of this nephron. So nephron has two things. Okay, simply if you can talk about two things, this there is presence of renal corpuscles and there is a tibial system. Okay, tibial system. So this tibial system is responsible for production of urine. You can see production of urine. Okay, and there is collecting tubules and nephrons. What There are collecting tubules and nephrons. These two things are present in nephrons. Okay, no, collecting tubules and nephrons. If you see the whole renal not even renal corpuscle. So if you see the structure of the kidney, there is presence of a nephron, which looks like this. There is a surrounding thing which is called as Bowman capsule. This goes proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, some looks like this. Proximal convoluted tubule goes down, forms thick ascending, then thin ascending, which is kind of thin ascending. No, sorry, descending. Sorry, thick descending, and then thin descending. Then this forms a loop of Henle, becomes thin ascending, thick ascending, and then distal convoluted tubule, and it goes to something called as collecting duct or collecting tubule here. So these two structures, you can see, these one is collecting tubule and another one is the nephron. Okay, so these two structures are actually coming from different primordial cells. These different primordial cells means that at the structure of embryological development, these kind of these two structures developed from different primordial cells. Okay, unlike the rest of the exocrine glands, they kind of developed from the same primordial cells. Okay, so we'll be talking about is the types of nephrons. Okay, types of nephrons. Types of nephrons are subcapsular, juxtamedullary, and presence of intermediate. Okay, so obviously subcapsular, so these are present on the outer part of cortex, and obviously if it is on the outer part, it has shorter loops of Henle. Okay, and this actually only extends somewhere around outer medulla only. Okay, and if you're talking about intermediate, we'll be talking about intermediate a little later. So if we're talking about the juxtamedullary, so it is 1/8 of the total nephrons. Okay, and there is nephron and there is renal corpuscle. So they have a little long thin loop of Henle. Okay, the long thin loop of Henle, and there is presence of nephron and a renal corpuscle as a whole thing. Okay, renal corpuscle at the base of medullary pyramid. Okay, this is actually present in medullary region. like inner medullary. Okay, intermediate is just something that is present in between both of these. Okay, somewhere in the middle, and it is actually, to be specific, it is present in the mid region of cortex. Okay, mid region of cortex, and it has intermediate, like everything mediocre or mid intermediate length. Okay, intermediate length. Simple. I hope you understood this. We'll be talking about is renal corpuscles now. Okay, renal corpuscle. If you really want to draw a normal renal corpuscle, this is what it looks like. There is afferent vessel going down. This is tuft of capillaries which is present, which gives you filtration and gives out urine. There is gives out blood from another side. So blood flow from here goes out from here. Then there is a surrounding structure which we call it as Bowman's capsule. That's all you have to know from renal corpuscles, and I'll be further telling you about renal corpuscles now. So renal corpuscle, okay, renal corpuscle has a diameter of 200 mm. Okay, nothing more than that, and it is spherical in shape. Spherical in shape, and there is presence of glomerular capillary. There is presence of glomerular capillary, and there is a capillary tuft. So if you can see, I told you about this. There is afferent going out, and then there is presence of lot of capillaries. So these whole thing is called as tuft of capillaries. What? Tuft of capillaries. Okay, and the surrounding structure is Bowman's capsule. It is surrounded by that, and these tufts of capillaries are also called as glomerulus. Okay, what is it called? It is also called as glomerulus, and in this there are 10 to 20 capillary loops. Capillary loops, the loops inside of it. Okay, and these capillary loops are basically surrounded by Bowman's capsule. So these capillary loops gives us glomerular ultrafiltrate. Okay, gives out glomerular ultrafiltrate, and this basic structure has two poles. Okay, first pole is vascular pole. Okay, now what is present there? There is vascular pole, and another pole that you get to see is urinary pole. Okay, what? Vascular pole and urinary pole. So vascular pole is where the place where afferent and efferent vessels exit, like enters and exits. So this one enters, okay, and this one is the one that exits. That's the common senses that you need to know. And there is, if you're talking about the urinary pole, that there is presence of this is where the filtration takes place, and this is where from the products, the excretory products that comes out from this is urinary pole.